efficient people get. It's completely, it's off the charts. What would you be like? 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 What would you be like?
3, 2, 1. Light it up, motherfuckers. Episode 22. We got JayMin in here. JayMin, what's going on, dude?
What's going on, bro? Thanks for having me. This
no
is great.
Problem.
This is
Happy
cool.
to have you on. So, you are the first rapper I've had on the show.
That's dope.
How long have you been in the game?
Alright, so I've been into rap. Alright, rapping myself. I was a senior in high school. I was 18. I'm 20 now. I'm a junior in college, so 3 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any recent works you've dropped?
Yeah. I actually just dropped an album, my first ever project of anything, any mixtape, anything. My first ever project. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, basically every streaming platform.
Sick. It's on iTunes too?
Yeah, it's called Positive Regression.
Okay.
It's like the meaning behind it is kind of like I suffer from like anxiety and like kind of like that type of bullshit. Mm-hmm. So like when basically positive regression is kind of just like it's an oxymoron in the sense that like I take 5 steps forward like with my progression towards like my anxiety and shit, and then like something happens, I just take 20 steps back.
Shoots you right back.
But I don't want to like kind of portray this image that I'm like a depressed person, because I'm not. I'm actually really outgoing.
Yeah. Well, do you feel being outgoing actually like helps you with your anxiety? Because I'm pretty sure, does your anxiety come from social?
No, definitely not. Definitely
Gotcha.
not.
What is it, like future anxiety, like looking too far ahead or something?
Nah, my anxiety stems from my past. Stems from like shit that just went on in my life.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm definitely social. Nah, all right. So to answer your question, my outgoingness doesn't. I really don't think it has anything to do with my anxiety. I just think that's me, my personality. I think that I've always been that way from as far as I can remember. So I don't think it has anything to do with my anxiety. No.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, do you feel your anxiety? Do you think it's a benefit to your creativity, or
Definitely.
Definitely,
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's cool. Do you think? Did you have to rewire yourself to be that way? Do you think you kind of picked up on that and you're like, hey, if I'm gonna go through this, I got to use it for something? Like,
What do you mean?
Like when did you first really
Notice my
anxiety? Yeah.
I was young. I was like, I first went to therapy. I was 11, 12.
11, 12, okay.
Some shit, I can't really remember. I was like 6th, 7th grade, so whatever that is. Probably 11, 12, so.
And when do you remember, like, first using your anxiety for your creativity?
Oh, shit. When I
know I'm
creativity.
I know I'm asking you.
No. But creativity is...
It's a big umbrella.
Because it's not just rap. It's
Absolutely.
not just making music. It's like whatever art form that I've done with probably not... So, yeah, you're making me think here. Yeah. what fucking creative shit have I done besides music? I was, before I started taking rap seriously, I'm a writer. I like to write.
Nice.
I like to write. So I remember like it started out just like writing like how I felt and shit, but now it's more like it transformed into like either whatever I was feeling. So like if I was feeling like kind of poetic, I would write some poems and that shit. I would do like I can curse, right?
Of course you can. That's all you fucking want, dude.
I didn't know. I didn't know if I could curse, but yeah, I would write some poems if I was feeling poetic, and yeah. So my like anxiety definitely like, cause I felt I was always into music, and I didn't really realize when I was younger. Cause I started really writing poetic shit and like creative shit into like my journals when I was like a year into therapy. My therapist wanted me to write and I didn't write. Ooh. I never would write because I just felt like I didn't bring myself towards that. I never just felt I should do that. It didn't feel comfortable. It didn't feel natural. Then I tried it and then it transformed into creative shit. And that started, I was probably like 14 when I was creative with it.
Excellent. Well, I don't suffer from a lot of anxiety, but when I get like I guess I'll call them, for lack of a better term, an insecure rush.
So give an example. What do you mean?
I guess an example would be, let's say I'm sitting in my living room and I'm trying to like self-evaluate where my life's going.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm at like a career shorts, like I've hit a career ceiling, or I've hit some kind of financial ceiling, or something that makes me worry about the future.
Important shit.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Financial,
important shit. And like once in a while, like if you self-evaluate, that shit kind of bubbles up on you.
Hell yeah.
I know for me, what I kind of needed to do is I just rewired that. Like instead of letting that send me down a rabbit hole, it kind of made me realize like, okay, I just need to sharpen this pencil.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so it's good that you said that, because at first that's where I wasn't able to do that. Like I said, I was young.
Yeah.
So I really didn't really know. I don't want to say I didn't know, but I don't like giving excuses and shit. Yeah. But like I didn't really know, but I didn't really know which way to go with it. But definitely through therapy, I was on medication, but I didn't really take that too much. 'Cause I didn't really like the idea of medication.
Fair.
I'm not really a big, it's not my cup of tea.
It's not the path set before.
I don't like it for many reasons, but definitely I would say that my way of thinking went from going down a rabbit hole, as you said, not knowing what else to do besides that rabbit hole, going down it. And then as just years of being resilient, years of coping with my therapist, basically music helps, making music, writing. I was also, when I was in high school, I played basketball all the time. Before I was a rapper, I was always playing ball. I still play ball, but competitively. So those two kind of like my outlets. And it basically, when I would have anxiety, like my coach would always tell me, like, my coach would tell me, my mom would tell me the same shit. Like, instead of bringing yourself down, think of ways like that you're kind of like struggling, and instead of focus on that struggling, just like you said, sharpen that pencil.
Yeah.
That's what I do now. I'm very good. I'm in a good place now.
That's good. No,
I'm in a really good place now.
I always wondered, and I don't know shit, but I always wonder if like we get those kind of rushes when there's some sort of like input-output balance. Because like how you said like getting creative in writing or playing basketball is like a way to help like cope with that or balance that. Well, that's like kind of you giving output. It's like you going and like interacting, as opposed to like taking in more thoughts, taking in more worries, knowledge. Yeah, as opposed to taking stuff in.
I'm good with both. I like to think.
Well,
I like to think that. So what are you saying? Like,
I was just saying, like, it's. I guess maybe we get those kind of rushes, maybe an anxiety rush or like some sort of insecurity rush, if there's like an imbalance between your input and output. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if like that's at the root of it. Is kind of what I'm wondering.
Oh, that's a weird way of thinking it, but yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I haven't really thought about that, but yeah, because bro, there have been mad times where I was taking in so much shit from everywhere.
Yeah.
Some good knowledge from people that's given me like ways to be resilient, and also the anxiety and just taking it all in and not doing anything about it, and that imbalance would
fuck with you,
bro.
Well, you know what they say? They say like weird things affect like our brains, like in a way. Like they've done a study that if say you had an IQ of 110, right?
Okay.
And if I handed you a bill that you couldn't pay, like a car insurance bill or something, like here's a bill, and you looked at it and your brain went, shit, I can't pay this.
Yeah.
Your IQ drops a whole standard deviation while you're worrying about that bill.
Oh, shit.
Because you have to financially worry about paying that bill. You could drop a whole standard deviation in IQ. So you could go from like 110 to 90 to like 92.
Because that anxiety takes away, like, you're not going to know what to know. You're not going to know what to do with that because you're so anxious.
Exactly.
So
it's like you're almost like overloading on bandwidth or something.
Bro, it's just a fucked up situation.
Well, it's crazy, man. It's like we're more delicate than we like to realize.
Like when you're fucking like when you're in a rut like that, when you're in like a situation, like a sticky situation, and it's like you could either fold or you could thrive. That's the way I look at it.
Back against the wall, dude.
Bro, it's like there's been a point in time where I did not know what the fuck to do with my back against the wall, bro. I was just so like, where the fuck do I go with this? And from the help of just like past experiences and shit, just like being able to learn off them, because now I'm a big a quote, I don't want to quote it, but like a good like a way that I live by is kind of like, you're not determined, like your strength isn't determined by how many, like what you've gotten hit with, or like it's how you respond. So like before I fucking knew that shit, I was just fucking stuck all the time. But now I like to think that I'm in a better place. Especially with that. Yeah, it's back against the wall
it's like,
shit.
the only
definitely.
real control you have is like how you react to things. And like we don't necessarily control our initial reaction. It's like say I saw like I'm a podcaster, right? Okay. Say my friend who's got a podcast, say his podcast takes off.
Okay.
You know what? Initially, I might get struck with a little bit of envy. I might get struck with a little bit of jealousy.
Most definitely.
And what I could do is I can kind of just ride that wave and let that envy grow, or I could be like, hey, why are you feeling envious?
Well, exactly.
Oh, maybe he's grinding more than I am. Maybe he's doing more work. This is on me. It's got nothing to do with him. It's like a way to rewire yourself.
I think it also depends on like the relationship you have with that podcaster. Because like if the podcast is your boy, listen, he's still a podcast at the end of the day, so it's a competitive field. So like I understand the envious, but also I think with that envious would come, like, wow, like good for you, like. Well,
yeah, dude.
Now I know what steps I need to take to get there,
and now you know it's possible too.
So like, I think that like, it comes with different variables and shit. Like it comes with like different relationships, like how you respond. Depends on the relationship is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. I think just to add to what I'm saying, like even if it was a close friend of mine who I like love dearly, like of course I'd be overwhelmed with joy for them, but there'd be that part of me that's like, oh well, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
But the reason why I even bring that up is because what if it wasn't a close friend? It's just like
I guess yeah.
I feel like
that's true.
Personally, I feel like the enviness would grow a little bit, not much.
If it wasn't someone I knew, yeah,
exactly. Because you don't strike me as an envious person, but it comes. It's natural, and it would grow if you didn't know that person.
That's true. That's true. Because I don't have like that love and that like
exactly that passion for that person, and that's also true. Like I feel as if like you could you strike me as somebody who absorbs,
definitely.
So like I feel like if there was somebody that did that and you didn't know them, not only would you feel a little envious, but you would also, okay, what is he doing?
What's he doing? Let me watch his shit.
Let me take some notes. Let me study him.
What it is, it's like it's that jealousy. You
don't strike me as a jealous person.
I'm really not a jealous guy.
You strike me as somebody who would if obviously not. If a baby was in the room, you could learn off a baby. If there was you could learn off anything. You strike me as somebody who absorbs.
Well, I definitely take it from the perspective that like everybody I talk to knows something I don't.
Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to say.
If I'm talking to them, I just want to dig to find what is it that you know that I don't. What can I get from it? But you know what it is? It's like me. I'm not an envious person. I'm not a jealous person. When I was younger, I used to be.
I feel like
when I was younger, I used to be.
We were all a little bit.
Exactly. But I guess what I'm saying is I was able to see that for what it really was. And like in those moments when you're envious, it's really just a call to higher being. It's like you said, yeah, let's go. Let's get on it,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like me, for example, like, to be honest, like personally, I'm an artist.
Yeah.
So like I'm friends with many artists. I'm acquaintances with many artists, and there's many other artists I don't know at all. Personally, there are people I don't know that are higher than me. I like to think in the people look at them like clout and shit, like the way what I mean. So like, I think people have more clout than me, but I don't get, because that's something people will get jealous about.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
Personally, I feel that way. I'm the type of person. I'm weird. I like the whole art of it. I like personally, I don't even look at clout. I think that like if you're making dope shit, I fuck with it. I just think that like it doesn't. And if you're making doper shit than me, that's when I'll get tight. That's when.
Yeah.
It's hard, in my opinion, and I think every artist feels that way. I think it's hard to get that from somebody. But if somebody gives me that feeling like, yo, you're a problem for me, like you're making better shit than me, nah. But if not, I don't get jealous of anybody. Yeah. That's me.
Well, I think it's cool. I think it's just kind of cool to be a little competitive, like
my God.
Having friendly competition with creators around you, like in the nature of friendly competition, it only helps everybody thrive.
You know what? You know what? I'm a very competitive person, and I'm not around because personally, like I have like my team HPS. Shout out HPS. Like my team HPS, we consist of my engineer, Gabe, St. Gabriel, my 2 fellow artists, IG and Omar. Now, none of us were competitive. We're all competitive, but like you said, like friendly competition. That's not our like thing. Like we spend more time instead of competing. We spend more time just like do this, like change this, do that, or praising each other.
Gotcha.
Like that's what we do, and I'm not around that competitive nature. And to be honest, I think I'm surprised now that you're making me think about it. Like I'm kind of like shocked that like I'm not in that because I'm a very competitive person.
Well, I mean, it's definitely good that you're surrounded by fellow creators who all want to push each other up.
Yeah,
like that's important as fuck.
That's dope.
That's important as fuck. You don't want to surround yourself with people who constantly want to bring you to eye level. You know what I'm saying?
Thank God I'm not around that.
Me neither. And I've had people like that in my life, and I've faced. It's hard because there's always gonna be some part of you that cares about people you hang out with, but it's like if somebody weighs you down, or if someone's constantly trying to pull you down,
you can't be around them.
Exactly.
You can have love for them. You can have,
Yeah, and you definitely have love for them. Absolutely.
And that's what it is. That's really what it comes down to. Just like, whoever, like, you again, you strike me as somebody who could read people well. So like, I feel like, when somebody's bringing you down, and you know how to handle it. And that's the same with me. Believe me, I'm close. Might sound stupid, but I'm close with people that has that without, like, they don't mean to, but they could want to bring somebody down, and they don't need, and I'm close with them, but I'm close to the point where, like, I know when to keep my distance and what to say to them, because
they got a knock on your door. They can't just walk in.
Exactly. Yes, I'm more. I'm a big helper. I love to help people. I love to get into depth.
Dude. Yeah.
I'm this bro. If literally anybody, I'm willing to just, even if they don't know they have the problem, I see it and I'll approach them in a way where I feel like they can understand. Mm-hmm. And I would try to get to the bottom of it. And if it don't work, it don't work. But at least I tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's important to communicate, and I think one of the things that many people they don't realize. And I guess you can include the people that we're talking about who kind of want to bring others down to eye level. Yeah. Like, our network is like the most powerful thing we have. And if everybody on the network can get on the same page and be like, hey, we're all here to push each other up. We're all here to because we're all connected. So if one of us goes up, it kind of carries us with them in some way, shape, or form, even if in a minuscule fashion.
You know what?
So it's I love the people who understand that, and they're like, oh, you're doing a thing? I want to help you push your thing.
You know what? We see that so much in, from a music standpoint. We see that, I feel like we see that so much everywhere else than New York. That's me. That's just my take on it.
I'd have to...
in a music standpoint, I'm talking. Because, listen, if you look at, places like Chicago, there are rappers that are known everywhere, and they all fuck with each other. Genuinely. It's not bullshit. They all fuck with each other. Yeah, it's everybody's in their own little thing, and that's cool. But I just see it in the sense that if you weren't that way, things might be different. But that's just I'm agreeing with you 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just think that...
Well, man, that's why it's a scene evolves, It's why, the Atlanta hip-hop scene is evolving, because they're all networked with one another. And they're all, they're on the same team. It's hey,
another one.
The bigger we make this Atlanta scene, the better. Same thing goes in the early 90s with grunge. Seattle.
Bro.
All those guys came up, and they networked, connected, made a scene, and then everyone came flocking.
You know what? Yeah. Exactly. I'm just leave it at that. You're right. Definitely right. I was gonna go into a deeper point, but you know what?
Go into it, man.
Nah, you know what? I and believe me, I'm not one that holds back. I'm not. I just know when to say things, when not to say things. So you're right. You're definitely right. Definitely right. I agree. I definitely agree with that.
So you're a big basketball fan.
Yeah, I'm a Knicks fan, unfortunately.
Knicks fan. Yeah, me too. I don't watch a lot of basketball. I always watch the playoffs. I always watch the playoffs.
So listen, I'm 20. So I started watching NBA, I was 10, 11, give or take. Basketball, NBA, primarily, because I love basketball. I played basketball. I'm not a big college basketball fan until March Madness comes. Then I'm like a little bandwagon. But when it comes to NBA, I was always a big NBA fan. But the fucking Warriors came about, and ever since, listen, they won in 2015. That was dope the way they won. I think that like everybody was like they came up from their draft.
Yep.
You know, nobody was signed. Nobody was making soft moves. I just think Kevin Durant did the softest thing that anybody could do. In the sense, go ahead. What?
I was saying, what was softer, Durant going to the Warriors or LeBron going to the Heat?
Durant going to the Warriors, no doubt, no doubt. You know why? I'll explain why.
Tell me why.
LeBron.
Tell people why.
LeBron. All right, people. This is why. LeBron James was putting the entire franchise, not just his fucking teammates, Dan Gilbert, everybody on his back, and said, listen, I'm going to do what I can. One thing I will say he fucked up was when he said that I'm not leaving until I get a championship, then he left. That was fucked up. I'll admit that was fucked up. Now, he literally brought a team to the finals in 2007. It was what? It was LeBron, and I think the 4 people around him. And the starting 5 was Ilgauskas, Big Z. He was a pretty good player. Then you had Daniel Gibson, who ain't shit. Larry Hughes, who ain't shit. I could be mistaken, he might have came off the bench. And there was like Sasha Pavlovich or whatever. Bro, that team sucks. That team sucks. It was LeBron and one decent guy and 3 bums, and the rest of the team was bums. And listen, it is what it is. And he couldn't do it. So he made a decision to put himself in a position to do it. And on top of the fact that he came back to Cleveland and won it, it kind of
negates the whole thing.
It negates the whole thing, exactly. Now, Durant, oh my goodness. This guy was up on the Oklahoma City Thunder, was up 3-1. It was 2016 or 6, whatever it was. I don't want to, don't quote me on the fucking year, but it was it was 3-1. They were up. They had to win one more game against the Warriors. They had to win one more fucking game, and they choked. They lost 4. They lost 3 in a row to the Golden State Warriors. And he said, no, fuck it. Since I can't show up in the playoffs by myself with me as the best, I'm just gonna join 3 people that are fucking the top 5 in their respective positions. Let's just do that. That is soft. That is soft. You can't beat them. You had to win one more game.
And you were there.
And you were there where you wanted to be. Instead, you had to join Stephen Curry.
Well, he went, if you can't beat him, join him. The old-fashioned state.
What do you feel about that?
Me? Oh, I hated it.
Okay, thank God.
I hated it. I'm not about it.
Bro, the way you compared it to LeBron, I thought that you...
No, I actually like LeBron James. Bro, listen. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan. I'm not a LeBron fan. I really don't have a favorite player in the NBA anymore. Oh, to go back to that original point, I really don't watch NBA as much as I did because the Warriors fucking ruined it. But I don't have a favorite player in the NBA anymore. My favorite player used to be Steve Nash. Yeah,
that was my favorite. That's my favorite player ever. That's when the NBA was in great hands. That's when Steve Nash went back to back fucking MVPs.
That was old school, man. That's old.
Oh my god, that's old. That's old shit. That's 0506. Then when he retired, I was always a big Kobe fan.
Kobe.
I love Kobe.
Fucking love Kobe.
I love Kobe. I never saw Jordan.
Classy move by the NBA though to let him have that last game.
That was dope.
They really let him do his thing.
That was dope.
It was the right thing to do.
That was so dope. But yeah, that's that. And the Knicks suck. I'm a Knicks fan.
Well, speaking of the Knicks, I wanted to ask you about the Porzingis trade.
All right, so at first I thought that like any other Knicks fan, because the way it looked at first, like I'm talking like when we first got the alert that he was traded, it looked bad. It looked horrible. It looked like we just gave up our best player for 3 role guys. That's what it looked like. Now, what we didn't understand was 2 things. 1, we cleared up cap space for 2 max guys, potentially. And 2, we didn't know that Chris Tapps genuinely didn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
Now, listen, no matter how good somebody is, they don't want to be there. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Especially, all right, now, I know I said I don't really watch NBA, but I know about the Anthony Davis situation. I'm comparing that to the Anthony Davis situation because Anthony Davis genuinely doesn't want to be in New Orleans either.
Gotcha.
But they tried to get rid of him. Like, they tried.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, it's not like if Chris Tapps were at that meeting didn't go well and we were like, no, fuck you, you're staying here. Because he's on a contract. If Chris Tapps didn't go, I think he was on for like another year or two. AD's up after this year. So he's consigned somewhere. That's why I don't, if somebody genuinely doesn't want to be on your roster, can't keep him. Can't. He'll fuck you up. He'll do things he doesn't want to do because he doesn't like the team. So we had to get rid of him. And I think it was the best move. And if we I don't think we're going to, because I'm a Knicks fan and there's no reason for me to be, feel me? But, if we were to get 2 max guys, that trade is unreal good for us.
So who do you think we could get? Or who do you think
I think we can get? Should?
Yeah.
Kyrie, Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant wins this year, which they will, if you ask me. If he wins this year, I don't think he wants to be in that team no more. Because it's not saying he doesn't want to be there, but, maybe he'll turn to, wanting to have his own team.
Have his own.
And have the ability to make GM moves.
Okay.
Bring people to his team.
So, it's crazy. I've always said, if anybody could come to New York in the NBA and win some championships, they'd be NBA royalty forever.
That's something to think about.
You know?
You know what? I've never, as much as I am a Knicks fan, I've never gotten to the point where I was able to think about that because it wasn't logical.
Because it's unlikely that we would get a basketball dynasty here. But, if somebody did that, because, that's the thing is, I feel like every New York team has had their time in the light.
I'd cry.
Except for the Knicks right now.
I'd cry.
Yeah.
I'd cry. Genuinely.
Yeah.
I'd cry. And if you, if you know me, you know how I feel about the Knicks, I would cry.
I always say, me and my boys, we joke like this, because we're big Mets fans.
Yeah.
And we're there's a 6-year-old kicking and screaming and whining and crying inside of us, just waiting to die and move on, but the Mets have to win the World Series first.
It's true.
Figured the same thing with you and the Knicks. There's some little kid in there who's mad he didn't get his championship yet.
All right, now it's different with me, kind of, because you know why? It's actually quite more depressing because I genuinely, I didn't think that. All right, so I thought I was done with the Knicks. I genuinely thought I was done. I thought they couldn't hurt me no more. I thought but when that Chris
like an abusive girlfriend,
it really, I swear to God, it is, bro. When that Chris Tapps move came about, I was hurt. When I didn't know the fucking stipulations behind it, I didn't know he didn't want to be there and shit like that. That was the first time in years that the Knicks hurt me. I was done with the Knicks last year. I was done with the Knicks. Bro, since Melo wasn't working out, I was done with the Knicks. Just mentally. So, and emotionally. Now, until that shit happened with Chris Tapps, I was like, wow. I thought we were fucked at first and they hurt me. But, yeah. So I kind of am done with the Knicks. I'm back to, okay. So it wasn't that bad, but I'm still done with the Knicks. So I'm done with the Knicks. I don't have that 6-year-old kicking at me because I'm not stressing about them right now. I'm not. I genuinely am heartbroken. Genuinely. I can't. There have been times, bro, when was it? 2012. We were the 2nd seed in the East.
Oh, I was about to bring this shit up.
We were the 2nd seed in the East. We won 54 games, do you know?
Something wild. And we weren't that far behind the Heat.
Bro, I remember I had so much hope for them. You know why? Because Charles Barkley went on. It was after the Knicks game. They played some fucking team. And after they won, Charles Barkley was like, yo, you don't want to play the Knicks. And I've never heard that. I'm 20 years old. I was what? 12?
7 years ago.
I was
6.5.
What was I?
6.5 years ago.
I was 14. 14. I never heard that before. I've never heard, yo, nobody wants to play the Knicks. And he said that. And I thought we were good. I thought we were all right.
And then the Indiana Pacers and their fundamentals.
5 games?
5 games.
We got one in New York. We got one? Or was it in Indiana?
I think we got one in New York.
We got one in New York. Cool.
It was bad. It was very bad.
Bro, we had a team. We had good coaching. What the fuck?
It's you know what, though? Even with that year when we had, the Melo, Stoudemire, and everyone around them, I was really pissed about the trade for Melo, and it's not a knock on Melo, but I loved those young guys, the Gallinaris,
the
and
Wilson Chandler.
Yeah, we had a whole court of guys.
We had a fucking team.
Yeah, no,
Now listen though, because were you hyped when you got Melo? You weren't?
I was mixed. You know,
wow,
I was hyped when I watched his first game.
Ecstatic
when they put up his first game, I got really hyped.
I'm not gonna say in front like I wasn't, because I really was.
I was always mixed. You know why? Because I loved Gallinari.
Did you?
I really genuinely loved
I was
Gallinari.
young. I was like 12.
I was in college, and like I was.
Oh, you like Gallo?
These are the years I watched the most basketball.
Yeah.
And I really liked.
You like
Gallinari.
Gallo in college?
Not in college. I was in college while I watched this team.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, I fucked with Gallinari heavy.
Bro, Gallo's so dope.
He was great.
He's on the Clippers now. He's dope.
Good. We always knew he would be.
He's
so that always broke my heart. But then, I'm not going to lie, I won't front
and
like
they were young.
Yes.
Gallo and Wilson Chandler were young. And we had Amari. Amari came from the Suns. And mind you, I love Steve Nash. He came from, and when he came to the Knicks, I was like, holy shit. Because if we're being honest, without Amari, what is Steve Nash?
Exactly.
Amari was arguably the best forward in basketball. He comes to the Knicks.
Bro, I went crazy when we got Stoudemire.
Bro, I went
a little crazy. I was pretty hyped for Stoudemire.
I didn't really know how to feel because I love Steve Nash. So but he came to the Knicks, so I was hyped. But I was hyped when he was doing what he was doing before Melo came, and that's nobody really remembers that because everybody just thinks of Melo.
Well, didn't we have a winning season with him? Like we weren't like a.
Bro, we were on track to make the playoffs without him, without Melo. We would have made it. Gallo was killing, Wilson Chandler. And we were kind of deep.
They were all killing.
We were kind of deep.
They were all killing.
We kind of had depth. We also gave up, who was it? We gave up Corey Brewer. And I understand Corey Brewer ain't shit. But Corey Brewer could ball. And he was young.
Yeah.
He's just a piece on a good team. And that would have been a good team. All we needed was one more piece. And it wasn't Melo. But we did add that piece, though. And it was Melo. But
and listen,
Melo and Stoudemire looks good.
They gave us a good ride in 2012, the two of them.
I can't lie.
That was a good ride.
It really was.
Then we had the Linsanity happen shortly. Do you remember that shit?
Listen, I gotta say something while I'm on camera, listen, nobody will ever believe me, and that's fine. It's fine. I told so many people this. Nobody really believes me, and I have proof though. I swear to God, I don't even know. You're probably not gonna believe me. I called Linsanity. I called it before it happened. Now let me explain.
Go for it.
All right. So I was looking into the Knicks depth chart, and I seen this is before he got in the game. He was on the bench, JayMin Lin. I'm looking in the depth chart of the Knicks. I'm young. I'm 14 here. I'm like, JayMin Lin. I played him in 2K, like a year prior. So I remember playing. He was all right. Well, he wasn't all right. He was on the bench, but I remember bringing him into the game, or whatever, and just playing with him, and he was pretty good. So I'm like, I kind of like this guy. And then I looked into his his resume, and he went to the G League apparently, D League it was back then. And apparently, you could look into this. He was in the D League for a game or two, and he had a triple double. And they're like, "No, you're coming back up to the league." And I guess the Knicks signed him. Or somebody signed him. It might have been the Knicks right there. Knicks signed him, and I'm like, "Yo, he's dope." I posted on Facebook a status, and it said, "JayMin Lin should start for the Knicks." It might have been the next game, or it might have been 2 games. It was 2 games max after I made that fucking... You know what? I'm going to say it was 1. It was right after that. Right after I made that status, somebody... I don't remember why JayMin Lin got into the game, but he got into the game. They might have been down a lot, and they won. He came back. He had 20 in 8 in a fucking half, whatever, and he started the next... No, he didn't start the next game. He came off the bench, and he killed again, and then he started the next game, and that's when Linsanity happened, and I fucking called it.
I believe you. I was going to ask you, my question was going to be what tipped you off, but it seems like 2K tipped you off?
Yeah, 2K. Nah, if we're being honest, yeah. I was probably one of them shits, 2K11 probably, if whatever it was.
You still play all those sports games?
See, 2K19 kind of ruined me.
Yeah?
It kind of did.
What happened?
2K18 was dope. I thought everything, 2K19, you can't even pass the ball. Did you play 2K?
No.
Okay, so...
I played back in the day, 2K14, 2K15.
That was dope. Yeah, those are dope. 2K11 is my favorite.
Yeah.
I think that's the dopest one. But 2K19, you literally, and I pray people agree with me, you can't pass the ball without getting it stoned. You can't make a pass down court. If somebody's open down court and there's one defender to get the ball by, and they're a little bit close, the smallest inch, bro. they could come and get that ball, and it's so annoying because it's unrealistic. Because if you make the pass a different way, that ball gets through. If you make bounce pass, and you know what I mean, it gets through, and it's fucked. I don't like it. Hate it. You can't fucking pass the ball. That's why I don't play that game.
So 2K19 lets you down.
Can't play that game no more, man.
God damn.
Yeah, I might. I don't. If I have it, I think I have it digital. But if I don't have it digitally, I might sell it for like $20.
Might as well.
Bro, fuck that game.
No, you can get decent game. What are they called? Store credit.
Store credit
and
like GameStop, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah. Facts. I don't know where but I don't. All right, we'll talk about that off camera because I don't really know how it works. I never sold them before. I never sold a game before.
It's hard, yeah. It's weird to sell back games.
You're a gamer, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really know how selling games works. And
it's
shit.
like, put it this way: everyone you sell a game to knows they got you by the balls.
Fuck that, bro.
You know, it's like you'll pay $60 for it, and if you're lucky, you'll get 10, 15 back. If you're lucky. So it's like, you're better off, like, what I do is, like, I just keep my games. I'm just going to build a library one day. Because, like, what the fuck else am I going to do? Get pen? Like,
so you never sold shit? Like
I've sold shit that, like, I just ended up not liking. Like, if I didn't like the game, I sell it back.
Oh, all right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But, like, if I like the game even in the slightest, it's like, yeah, keep it.
No, definitely. Yeah.
I give that back?
No, definitely. But, yeah, genuinely, I cannot stand 2K19. I think that shit is trash.
Yeah?
Bro, it's like the biggest difference compared to the year before.
Which is so funny because most sports games kind of keep the same thing going.
Bro, Madden is dope. I think Madden is dope. I think Madden 19 is dope.
I haven't played Madden 19.
Bro, those games get progressively better. As it should be. Like, I understand they probably could make that game Madden 100 times better, but they don't because they need it for following years. I understand that. But they don't fall back like fucking 2K does. I don't understand that. I don't understand 2K. And that was the game I played the most.
Yeah, no, I got a lot of friends who love playing 2K.
Yeah,
and for them, they've been a little silent on it this year, so I guess
bro.
you know, they're feeling what you're feeling.
But there are people that agree with me. Like, I have boys that play it still. My boy plays for bread. 2K for bread. He plays wagers.
He plays it for
2K19 wagers.
Good for him.
Yeah, he does good. He also plays Call of Duty.
That's so cool. It's so funny. I always laugh because it's like everything our parents told us to go to school for. There's no more jobs in.
It's like,
but everything they told us not to do, like play video games.
You know why? Because people built it. People have revolutionized it because they're like, yo, fuck, they're rebelling.
Yeah,
it's simple rebelling.
Well, no, it is. It's like everybody wants to be entertained now, like at all times, you know. And take it from me, I'm a guy who, like, when I'm at work, and don't get me wrong, I'm working the whole time. Yeah. But I'm the kind of guy where I can have a podcast in my ear while I'm working. Yeah. You know?
That's people dope. What podcast do you like, if you don't mind?
Oh, yeah, no, I don't mind sharing at all. Well, I've always been a big fan of Toe Rogan. You know? Dope. Definitely been listening to him for probably since late 2014, early 2015. That's dope. Yeah, big fan of his. I love the Bill Burr Monday Morning podcast. I love Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. Fucking love Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. I heard Dan Carlin. I love Theo Von's podcast. He's a comedian.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's like this comedian.
Gotcha.
He's this comedian who like grew up in like a trailer park.
So what made you? I understand, like, but I just want to know, like, what made you do a podcast?
What made me do a podcast? It's just like I realized that, like, one, I love talking to people. Like, I love just doing this shit.
I like talking to people too.
Exactly. Shooting shit, having a conversation. I love that.
I like, you know why? I like picking people's brains, and I like not only picking people's brains. I just like understanding a person. I like getting to understand somebody. I always felt as if I was misunderstood, and I still am. I feel like I could be wrong. I just feel that way about myself. I feel like nobody can understand me, and it might sound like whatever, but
that's how you feel.
Yeah, I personally, I think that has a lot to do with it because I really love anybody, bro. To get to understand anybody, that's who I am. So I feel you with that.
Yeah. No, I love talking to people. I love fucking like you know, I had all the equipment. Like, I had this audio equipment from all the music I've been making. You know,
making music.
Yeah, I mean, well, this isn't here for nothing,
bro.
Yeah. No, we'll talk off camera.
We will talk off camera.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I had all the setup.
You said making music. I was like, oh, what? Damn. All right. That's a conversation.
Yeah. Exactly. And fucking, it's just fun. You know, it's a good time. And the other thing is, like, I have so many talented people in my network. You know, that's kind of like what kind of opened my eyes too. I was like, I love what so many people in my life are doing. I almost want to connect all of them. You know, I want everyone to know, hey, we're all fucking out here. We're all, because you know what it is, man? It's like, we were kind of getting into it earlier, but it's like, support your local scene. Like, your local scene can sustain art.
Facts.
You know? Legitimately. And it's
facts.
Like, look, I'm not saying like it's that easy to make everybody hear Jimi Hendrix or make everybody
Bro,
hear
but,
fucking
like,
Post Malone.
But you're one step closer when you come together.
Exactly.
Unity. And that's, you know what, I'm not even gonna hit.
You know, there's a lot of people. I'm sure you're from Staten Island, right?
Yeah, I'm from Staten Island.
I'm sure you hear people complain about, oh man, there's nothing to do around here,
bro. All right, so
I can't fucking stand
listen,
hearing that shit.
Now listen,
from people.
You're from Staten Island?
No, I've always been from Long Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh my god, I bet how annoying that is from the outside looking in, bro. That's probably fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But okay. So one thing I will say about Staten Island, I don't complain about Staten Island for a couple reasons. One, you need to understand. Staten Island is a great place to raise a family. I think. I really think.
That's the reason why it's the borough that like people go and settle and have families.
Exactly.
Like,
it's a borough to settle down, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to have fun, bro? I understand being a college student and living in Staten Island. That could be fucking annoying. I understand that. Now, I get that vibe too, but I don't complain about it because this is my home.
Yeah.
This is where I live. This is where I've always known to be home. Why would I hate on my home? I don't do that. I can't. I don't know. I can't connect.
No, I feel you, dude. You can't. Because you're thankful. You're gratuitous.
Bro,
you know? You could have grown up in like any, not even much worse places, even slightly worse places.
Bro, I'll give you this. Mom, I was talking to this girl that I talk to now, and she, we were driving, and on the South Shore of Staten Island, and I live on the North Shore. Well, I lived on the North Shore all my life, and we were driving on the South Shore, and nothing wrong on the South Shore. Nothing wrong. If anybody sees on the South Shore, nothing wrong on the South Shore. Personally, North Shore is home to me. So, fucking, she was like, we were going, and my dad passed away. He was buried on the South Shore. So we were driving past that cemetery, and she was like, we were looking at the house, and we were like, oh, these are nice. And I showed it. My mom was going to buy a house on the South Shore, and now like my feelings towards the North Shore and like my feelings towards the South Shore, I'm just like, thank God she didn't, because like, so like going back to what you're saying, like I could have been somewhere else where I didn't want to be.
Exactly. And
I could have had that same feeling towards the North Shore if I grew up on the South Shore. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm very grateful for where the fuck I'm at and like where I loved and since
when we were born too.
All right. So go ahead. What are your opinions on that?
I was gonna say is like the time we live in now, like especially if you're a creator, you're an artist, like it's never been better. Like
dope, yeah, definitely, fuck yeah.
Like,
oh my god, what? So you see the tools we have, social media, shit, all that shit.
Distribution used to cost thousands, costs nothing now.
Exactly, like, but all right, now I agree and I will defend that wholeheartedly, no doubt. And I'm sure you can agree with what I'm gonna say, hopefully, but I think you will. I feel like that society in general just sucks nowadays. No. That's a bad way to put it. I think society is more flawed than it's ever been. And just, before our time and shit. I just feel like if we were to, all right, you know what? This is where you're not gonna agree with me. I feel like I'm better off in another era.
Okay, that's fair. You feel out of place. I
don't like to say that because I don't feel out of place. I'm able to adapt very well. I'm a very good adapter. I like to adapt. I'm good at adapting to people. I'm good at conforming.
You make Darwin proud.
That was so deep. But fucking yeah, bro. I don't think I feel out of place. I just feel I don't like. There are things I'm not a fan of.
Well, what's really turning you off in the society? What's the big turn off?
We're gonna get deep.
Yeah, all right, get deep. Because here's the thing: it's like your overall thesis. I don't necessarily agree with, but I agree there are some flaws that are so deep it's alarming.
Yeah, that's why I changed it. Society don't suck. Society will never suck. I don't think society's beautiful. Yeah. I think it's so flawed though. I think there are so many fucking flaws in it. There are so, bro, like. Just the shit that's obvious, bro. Like, I think that, like, I'm trying to think of a good one.
It's all good. Trying
to think of a really good one. Like, us just not being a good one is like a good example that we've talked about already. Like, just not being unified and like working together. Yeah. Well, and that can go in different categories. That can go different types of people, and that's what I'm trying to say. Imagine if everybody was unified.
Well, I feel like I'm fortunate enough that the people on my block always stayed like in good communication with each other, neighbor to neighbor. But seemingly from talking to people, the general like social climate is like people just seem more disconnected to their neighbors than ever.
That's why I say,
You know, that's definitely something I don't like. That's definitely something I would like to see change.
okay, me too. Now that's why I changed it, because I'm not upset where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm not, genuinely. I'm not. If I had a, and I'm scared of like, as much as pussy as it sounds, I'm scared of change. But I'm not scared of change. It all depends. But anywho, the reason why I say that is because like if I was offered the ability to like go into a different era, I wouldn't. As much shit as I talk, I wouldn't. Because
Interesting.
Because I am not like, I would be afraid of how I would turn out. And now I am good at adapting, but I don't dislike what today is about. I'm not.
I don't dislike it either, dude. Like, I actually fucking
The
love
social
it, man.
media shit, the tools that we have as like fucking creators and shit, I think that it's dope. And bro, we go back. Well, we can't get that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Exactly.
can't, you know what I mean?
You don't
It's
get that
beautiful.
back.
This is all a beautiful thing, I think. So that's my take.
I'm just with you. I just think we should all work together a little bit more. You know, it's like things are changing. Like, things are gonna radically change in our lifetime. Like the next 50
I just don't
years.
know how, bro.
It's hard. It's hard to see what's coming. Nobody's got a crystal ball.
People think that they do, though.
People think that they do. You're right. Like,
It's funny to me.
I was told 10 years ago automatic cars would be driving me to work by now.
We heard that.
You
I
know?
heard that. I was kind of hoping for that shit.
The automatic cars.
That'd
You
be
want
dope.
that Uber subscription? You want to just hop in the pod, let it get you from A to B?
I would guess.
You know what I'm
Flying
excited
cars,
for?
shit
It's
like
like I always
dope
want
shit.
the option that I can drive myself, but I love the idea that like on my way to work, I get my time back. I could read. I can just sit there and play a little guitar. You know what I'm saying? I get my commute back to myself instead
That's
of having
something.
to be on
You know
the
what,
wheel.
bro? You know what? I think that's another thing that. All right. So one thing I don't like about today's society.
Yep.
Is that people don't value the shit that is really important. And now let me clarify. Oh, you said that market or nah? We good?
Yeah.
Alright,
You're
my
good.
fault. Fucking the shit that I think is really important is time. The time that we get to ourselves, because people is always saying, "Oh, I don't like growing up, shit like that, blah blah," because we want that time, we want that, and people don't feel it, and me too. Like I'm guilty of this too. Like I fail to realize sometimes that time is, like it's so valuable because we don't get enough of it as we get older and have more priorities and shit, but we can still have that time, and we often don't realize that, and we take that shit for granted. We take like the good times that we have, we take that shit for granted, and like then we're so like fucking depressed all the time. And another thing, since we're on it, another thing that I don't like about people is that they often compare without even if it's subconsciously, like Instagram. Instagram's the number one example I'd use.
Yeah.
If you're just fucking like scrolling on Instagram. Listen, I don't know if you've done it, but I've done it. I've taken my phone out and without realizing it, just started scrolling.
Oh no, yeah, that's
Bro,
definitely happened.
when you're
to me,
doing that, you know how your
shit snuck up on me.
subconsciously, bro, you're comparing your life to somebody else's life.
And not only that, dude, I honestly believe subconsciously you're trying to stop yourself from thinking about something important.
Bro, not even that you're trying to stop yourself. I think that you're just stopping yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think intent has anything to do with it or much to do with it. I just think that, like, bro, like when you're comparing, like, I think you're comparing wholeheartedly and to yourself, the life that you know that nobody else knows, to a life that is portrayed.
Presented. Like, all you're really seeing is the window. They open the
Bro,
window.
you're not seeing
Yeah.
shit. And
Yeah,
then people
exactly.
see that and they say, "Yo, that's."
Dude, I know exactly, because I know motherfuckers who, like, they'll upload pictures of themselves on vacation a year ago, like, randomly. Like, oh, look, I'm living. I'm here. I'm living. It's like,
not
motherfucker.
living. And like, to each their own, and I'm not knocking anybody that's doing that. I just wish they see it for what it is, because they don't understand that they're not affecting. I mean, they're affecting themselves on how they're presented, and what they're doing isn't healthy because they're portraying something that they're not.
Well, exactly. It's like, it's the whole idea about, like, it's like the idea that, like, what you're actually doing isn't good enough. And that's like,
Bro,
like,
yes.
that's dangerous.
Yes.
Like, the things, even though the things you do every single day are mundane, that's the most important shit you do. Like, the things you do every single day are the most important things in your life.
Yeah, the shit that is most important, like you said, that we do every day is most important. And notice how we replaced whatever before smartphones was what we were doing every day with smartphones and with going on Instagram. Bro, now I think it was like, or this morning or whatever, I woke up with some shit on my phone, like how much time you spend on your phone.
Oh, you got one of those.
Bro, I just came with the fucking thing. Like, I didn't ask for it. But it kind of, I was like, holy fuck. I don't even know. I remember some outrageous shit. I was like, yo, imagine that turned into some shit that, like,
that you were working on.
Would have, what I was working, music or fucking anything, bro. The energy that you put into this fucking thing, if you put it into because energy, you can't kill energy. Energy is something that it'll never die.
Yep.
So energy is something, whatever, I'm a big believer, like, whatever you give, you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I believe that. I feel like if you give the negative energy, undeserved negative energy towards something, it will come back to you.
It's like we have the power to place these magnets on ourselves.
That's a perfect fucking analogy.
Yeah.
That is perfect. Cause bro, if you're genuinely from the goodness of your heart, if you're doing something small towards somebody, you're giving that energy, you're gonna get it back in one way, shape, or form. You're gonna get it back, no matter what. And it happens before our eyes, and you don't know why, but it's because it's that's the reason.
Yeah, dude. It's like they say, like, a good deed is its own reward.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
And
like,
nobody understands how deep that shit is, bro.
Yeah.
That shit is deep. It really gets deeper than just fucking helping somebody for good karma or whatever, bro. Like, it's genuine energy that's going to come back to you.
Yeah, and you carry that shit with you.
Or you could do a lot with it. You could hold it.
Yeah.
You could hold it and you could save it for, another good deed, or you could put it towards something that you're working towards.
Yeah.
You could use energy with anything, bro. And it's all attraction.
That's crazy.
It's all shit. It's just like a way of, I don't know, bro. Like, that's why I was saying this. Instagram, bro. The energy we put in this shit is fucked up. And it's a beautiful thing. It's social market. It's social media. It's marketing.
It has its merits,
bro. This shit is beautiful when used properly. I think.
No, I agree with you. 100%.
That's the way I look at it. I think it is. So Instagram, whatever, is beautiful when used properly. But when you're fucking taking your phone out, say you're working, you're taking your phone out and you're literally scrolling without even realizing it, bro. That happens, bro. That happened to me. That happened to 100 all my friends, bro. I see it. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? I'm just scrolling.
You don't even realize.
It's so fucked. And yo, imagine
it's a nervous twitch now, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's like instinct.
You know what I think it is? I think it's kind of like. I hate saying this because we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it.
Bro, 100%. I'm guilty of everything I said.
We don't like thinking of it this way, but bro, it's a pacifier. It's sucking your thumb, dude. That's what it is.
Exactly what it is.
It's sucking your fucking thumb.
We're all sucking our fucking thumbs out here.
Biting your nails. It's like the same thing. It's like,
bro, it's so fucked up.
I need a stimuli.
Bro, people don't know how important this shit is, man.
Well, it's like everyone has so much more time than you think. Like, people have been asking me, and I'm sure people ask you all the time, like, man, how do you make the time for that? How do you do that on top of work? How do you do that on top of school? How do you do that on top of a relationship? How do you do that on top of family and friends? Like, you have so much more time than you fucking realize.
Bro, because we're all so fucking overwhelmed. And, that overwhelming feeling is normal, too.
Definitely.
Like, that shit, and,
but... You know what it is? It's like our generation and the generations that are coming after us are experiencing... They experience a lot of anxiety. Like, anxiety is growing.
Bro, it's exactly. I was about to say that. It is fucking growing. And you know why? Because of shit like this.
Definitely.
Not shit like this.
Bro,
not
Steve
saying
Jobs,
this.
Steve Jobs wouldn't let his kid play with an iPad.
Smartest shit he's ever done.
You know what
Smartest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Smart. Bro, there are kids out there. There are kids out there that are 4 or 5 with a fucking iPad, iPhone more later than my shit.
Yeah.
That shit is fucked.
Well, it's fucked up. The the Amish don't have any ADHD diagnosis.
Yeah, because they don't use.
Because they're not doing this.
They're not doing this electronic shit. They're not.
Well, you know what it is, man. It's like I really believe it. It's like I think commercials are fucking with our brain because it's like intense stimuli in 3-second cuts.
Definitely.
It's like buy now, da-da-da, and then they cut to
bro, we are getting hit with so much fucking
stimuli.
We're getting hit with so much,
it's
bro.
Exhausting. It's like you said. It's fucking exhausting.
Bro, there's not supposed to be a tool with this much energy, bro.
No,
there's not supposed to be a tool.
It has more. It has infinitely more energy than the computers that got us to the fucking moon.
I could literally spend all day. I could spend all fucking day on this shit.
You could run a business.
I could run a business. Yeah. I could be fat as shit in my home, and I could make bread. I could make money off of Boom. I don't have to get up. But we met now it's at the point where I feel as if we're making a choice to get up now. To get up and do things. To get up and be healthy.
Because you could do things literally on your fucking ass.
Back before I knew what it was, back before I was even fucking born, you didn't have that fucking option. It was get up and go. Get up and do this. Now we have to make a choice. Do we want to sit on our phones and be disgusting but still be successful? Or get up and be successful and we have to make that choice now. And it's just fuck that. It's a choice instead of a...
Well, it's hard, man. It's not like you and I used to go, like when we were younger. It's not like we went to sleep with our laptops in our pockets. And then you wake up and you can just boot up your laptop right there.
I miss them shits, bro. I miss those times.
Oh,
bro.
You're chilling in your bed?
Bro, I just miss the fucking old times where, like, bro, Netflix. Think of Netflix, bro. Now you can't... Bro, you literally... You don't miss shit. You're literally stuck there. Back then, you had commercials. You had to run away, go to the bathroom, get a drink.
Yeah.
It's back on, run back in. Bro, like, that thrill... That was amazing.
Yeah, those little intermissions were cool. If you had stuff to do on those intermissions.
That shit was cool, bro. We don't get that, bro. I mean, you could if you want,
you
but
could pause it and just go fucking take a shit.
Bro, now you could do exactly, bro. Like you could just eat. You could do whatever while you're fucking watching this movie. While you're watching,
you get food
on your
dropped
phone
on your fucking doorstep.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
No, yeah.
You could literally. It's crazy,
we
bro.
used to joke
now
about
that I
Taco
think
Bell
about
being
it,
delivered.
Bro,
Now it's actually being delivered.
Bro, fast food being delivered.
Yep.
All the time now, bro. Shit.
It's
ain't no
insane.
joke, bro. Shit is crazy
it
now,
keeps
dude.
growing, dude. Well, you notice, man, it's like if we could just keep the game going, if we could just keep each other from tearing each other's throats out or dropping the bomb. It's like
Easier said than done.
Way easier said than done. We could just
gotta
keep
have the
this
intention.
Fucking game going.
Not the intention. You gotta have the fucking
patience.
You have to have.
I
wasn't even gonna say that either. You have to, because people have that, and they still are liable to rip someone's throat out.
Yeah.
You have to have the fucking heart for it. I feel like you have to have the mindset now, and it's fucked now because it never. I can't say that. I can't say it never used to be like that, but it definitely is like that a lot more than it's ever been.
Definitely, and you know what? I really think we need fucking perspective. I really do. And it's not that there aren't things that
might have
been
the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Perspective.
It's not that there aren't things that are wrong in our society, but it's like anybody who's complaining, do you have hot water?
Bro, thank you. Preach this, bro.
You know
because bro, like this is a girl that I speak to at the moment, and not even her. My friends, bro. I have my best friends. All right, so I'm in a group chat that I've been 10 of my friends from high school, and we are like, bro, we're best friends, bro. And literally, like, there's a couple in them, and they might see this and get tight, but I don't care. That don't understand that, like, they have so much more than a lot of people. Bro, they are complaining, and not saying what they're complaining about isn't rightfully so, but all I'm saying is, think about the fucking things you do have, bro. Yeah. That shit will give you a whole other perspective on how you look at the negatives that you have, and it's fucked.
Dude, we're like the most capable citizens that a society has ever seen,
bro. Because we have so many options
and
now.
Tools and
we
power.
have so many fucking options.
Speaking of which, now that we're going down this road, because we only got a little bit of time left, but I have to ask you the notorious Landi Lodge question, and I if I need to explain it, if you need to know what I mean, more than happy to. Are you Chip Gang?
Yeah, you gotta explain that shit. I don't know.
Gotcha. Are you going to put the chip in your brain that allows you to access the internet on command, will alert you when you have a tumor, will just like you could download a language?
No, what are you asking me? Like if I will, what do you mean if I'm...
So like there are companies that are actually working on this shit where what they're saying is they put a chip in your brain.
They're going to implant a chip into your brain? Will I do that? No. You don't need to tell me what there is. But I don't care. Bro, the only way I do that is if I could literally... I don't know. I really don't know.
What if I told you, like, what's your favorite, like alternate universe? Like video game universe or comic book universe or movie universe or show universe? What's your favorite?
Nah, I don't got one.
You don't got one?
Nope.
Okay.
I love where I'm at.
You love where you're at. You know what? This is why the chip's going to be hard for you.
Fuck that. It will be, bro, but that's the thing with my life, bro. I've always taken things the harder route just because I know it's not good for me. Not always, but recently I've been doing that.
Because I was going to say, what if I told you could snap and you're in a VR simulation of 2K?
That ain't real.
You're slam dunking like LeBron James.
Simulation. It's not life. I want real. I want genuine shit.
You want your restrictions.
Yes, that is life that I know. I don't want anything besides the life that I know.
Interesting. So what if
I would be open to, as long as the life that I know that I live in is what I live in. If that is not altered or fucked with in any fucking shape or form, I'll add a simulation that I could do. That would be dope.
Well, what if I told you that?
But you have to understand, I don't smoke or nothing. So like,
Are you saying you're gonna vape? Are you gonna be one of those
I've
vape guys?
vaped before.
You've
I've
vaped
had
before?
a vape. I've been through that phase. I was like 18.
Like 18. It's so funny. I make fun of Joe. Joe's never smoked. Like he's never smoked a cigarette, but now he's got his vape. And I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You're doing this
fucking
backwards."
oxymoron, bro.
I was like, "You're doing this backwards, dude. What are you doing?"
What sense does that make, bro? And,
I don't
it
know.
has nicotine in it.
Yeah. You know what? I always like would trip me out about vapes because that's one thing that I say that's another pacifier. So they put.
I mean, I bet because
it freaks me out because it's like somebody shushing the room. Like when someone takes a hit, it's like shh.
Yeah, it does sound.
I feel like I'm being shushed. Like they're shushing their brain.
I never got that.
Dude,
but
I just sounded like shush to me. I'm like, don't shush me.
Yeah, nah, I haven't gotten that, but I probably will think of that next time.
Yeah, you're gonna hear that shit.
Like, oh shit, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, stop doing that shit.
Exactly. That's right. People. Honestly, I think people should be allowed to do whatever the hell they want to do. As long as you're not harming anybody else, I think you have the right to do it.
Yeah,
I truly believe that.
Yeah. No.
If you're
Oh
not
yeah, the
harming
right to
someone
do
else,
it. Fuck yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Let's
The
say
right
you
to
should
do it.
doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah, the right to do it. Fuck yeah.
But like I don't like.
And
as
long as it's not, as long as it's not harming nobody else, as long as it's not.
I don't like policing adults. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you have to learn.
I know.
You gotta learn.
Well, you know what it's like cigarettes. Like you want to smoke, like you want to smoke your cigarette. That's fine. Smoke it where somebody can't breathe it in. You know what I'm saying? Go smoke it.
Bro,
Chain smoke. I don't give a fuck.
That's my thing. That's
You know?
my thing. That's something I've never been able to understand because, like, not only with smoking, bro, with like anything that I feel like can affect somebody in any sense, the smallest sense. I don't even give a fuck. I would, me personally, yo, do you mind? Yo, if you mind, I'll go. You know what I mean? That's all it takes because it's literally
really
you
it.
can't.
People are afraid to communicate.
You're affecting somebody else.
Yeah.
It's not just about you no more.
Exactly. Dude, people have trouble communicating. You know, people are a lot nicer than people like to give credit for.
It used to be me, bro. Like
Me too.
I probably seem like a person like because I am now that person you could talk to, and
people,
like I'll give you me if you give me you. But bro,
yeah.
it never used to be that. It never used to be that for me.
People like to jump to conclusions about other people before even talking to them, and we're all guilty of it. We've all done it. But it's like people are a lot nicer than most people are willing to give credit for. Like, if you're lost and you need directions, there are very few people that are going to turn you away.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you fall and break your leg, if you fall and break your leg,
everybody's helping you.
People are going to help you out.
Not everybody, but
not everybody, 100%.
But you got your good amount that will say, "Yo, go above and beyond," just because they see that you're hurt.
Exactly. Exactly. I think most people are good. I think it's our instinct to be good because, like,
I agree.
It's funny.
Definitely.
One of the things that makes us good is like we're tribal. You know, so it's a yin and yang because there's a good and a bad to this. But it's good because like I see a human fall, it's like that's my fellow human. I want to help them. That's the tribe. Let me push them up. But some people take that tribalism thing too far,
or too little,
or too little.
Some people don't give a fuck about being.
Well, some people draw lines on the tribe at very ridiculous reasons.
So like we have the tribe, right? There are people that take the tribe for what it is, and there are people that don't take it at all. But if you do take it for what it is, it's you draw these barriers that like, okay, like I'll help you to this point, or and yet we're all guilty of it. But I think what you were trying to say is that like the I guess like what it depends on, what we help that person with.
Yeah.
It's altered by our beliefs and shit. And like I just think that like if we all had I don't like the idea of like everybody thinking the same way, but I just think that if we looked at things in more perspective, then that tribe thing would be
I always try to
better.
see it. I try to think that like humanity.
Me too, man. For real.
I try to think that humanity is just one soul fragmented into 7 billion different pieces, and it's like when you die, you're just going to be refunneled into just somebody else's life.
Yeah.
So that we all just.
That's what you believe in?
I really do believe in something like this. Something like this, because it's like, think about it. If you're Adolf Hitler, how does Adolf Hitler atone for what he's done? Oh, he's going to live the life of every Jew he slaughtered. You know, he's going to live the life of every Nazi that he got doped up on speed that lost his mind. You know, that's the only real way he can understand what he's done.
That's a good way to think.
And I think it goes for the same way as, say, somebody like a Martin Luther King. You know, he'll live the lives of the people that he helped. This way he'll truly grasp what it was he did.
That man, bro. I have a fucking tat of his.
Hell yeah.
Of a quote.
Fuck it, you want to read that out loud?
Yeah, we must accept finite disappointment, but must never lose infinite hope. Martin
Fuck yes.
King. Bro,
Martin Luther King Jr.
that is my favorite quote ever.
Hey, well, it's a beautiful quote.
Ever. Because, bro, it just stands for so many, like, not so many things. It stands for one thing. It stands for not losing hope. And that could, anybody could relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
Not only, I don't give a fuck who relates to it. It's just the fact that, like, it's so as powerful as they're words, but they mean so much. And if you're able to live by something as powerful as that is, then you could be a powerful person. And that's just...
Words definitely empower us. But we gotta wrap this up soon. JayMin, before we call it, why don't you tell everybody again where they can find you?
Instagram, Nick JayMin. But do you want me to spell it, or will it be there?
Yeah, spell it out. Spell it out. Couldn't hurt.
Instagram, Nick JayMin, NickJaimin. SoundCloud, JayMin. Then that's my artist name.
Hell yeah! If you're on YouTube, you can see the links to his SoundCloud and everything in the bio. If you want, he'll be tagged on the Instagram post. JayMin,
Positive Aggression out now.
Yes.
I got single Come Up. It's also out now everywhere. And I got a lot of new shit coming soon, so stay tuned to that, JayMin.
Amen. Stay in the fucking loop, everybody. All you Lodge folks, follow him. He's going to have great stuff for you.
That's
dude,
dope, bro.
Thank you so much for
This
coming
was
on,
dope,
dude.
bro. For real.
We'd love to have you back on.
I'll be obliged to.
It's off the charts. What would you be like?